Episode 13, Trev's Wrestling Show, here on Trev TV. I'm the Trev. You know that. If you're tuning in, if you're watching, that's too sweet. Anyway, I didn't forget about this. I didn't actually. I was more preoccupied with the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's a hard thing to do when there's a Game 3 plus an NXT pay-per-view on the same night. Now imagine how I'm going to feel August 31st. I'll get to that once we get further into this. But having said all that, this is my NXT Takeover 25 review. So sit down, buckle up, grab popcorn, chips, whatever. Relax. I'll let you know my thoughts on this show. As I did with Double or Nothing, I come with notes. Not nearly as many notes as I came in with Double or Nothing because there was more matches on the Double or Nothing card, but I'm not talking about Double or Nothing right now. I'm talking about NXT TakeOver 25. Coming to us from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Anyway, here's my review. Starting with match 1. We start off with Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong. And the first thing that happened was a lighting botch. The lighting technician screwed up on the lighting. It's not awesome. It's always impressive. You know, a good way to start off your pay-per-view. But it was good to see actual grappling to start off the match. It wasn't like, oh, hey, super move, this, that, the other. There was actual grappling, like actual wrestling. It was fun to watch. So back and forth before some suplex action. You know, they were both suplexing one another. The action goes on the outside, and we get a beautiful flying forearm by Matt Riddle. Beautiful. I mean, I don't know how they're training these guys to do their forearms so well, but they are doing it really, really nicely. We get back in the ring. We got some ring apron action, where Roderick Strong took over after a backbreaker on it. Right off the hop, Strong going after Riddle's back. And Riddle is selling this back nicely. It actually put into doubt in my mind whether or not Riddle was going to come out on top. Both back in the ring, and Roderick Strong has the offense. He had the offense, I would say, a good 65% of this match. So the opinions could be swayed really, really well. Riddle manages a near comeback, gets some offense in, before Strong takes it back over with another backbreaker. So it's good to see the art of the backbreaker is not lost. Strong keeps the action slow at his own pace with, you know, some knees, some chops, some more knees before stretching Riddle out on the ring post. You know, where he grabs your legs and stretches the ring. Or actually, no, I think it was a throw into the post, not so much a Bret Hart leg stretch on the post. Back in the ring, and it's still all Strong. Riddle makes another comeback, only to fall short again after a very strong Olympic slam. There's no pun intended on that. It was a strong Olympic slam by Roderick Strong. It was impressive. Kurt Angle would be impressed. Riddle comes back with some punches and some kicks. A nice exploder suplex turns into the Broton suplex, and another near fall. That's the theme of the night, near falls. Riddle flurries Strong with kicks to the chest. I think he gets a good 10 of them in there. And then Strong attempts another comeback before getting caught with a GTS. You remember, to go to sleep. A German suplex and another near fall. Strong makes a comeback with a top rope enziguri, followed by a superplex and another near fall. More back and forth before Strong takes over. Gets 2 corner knee strikes, one on this post, one on this post. Or this corner. And another near fall. Now at this point, Riddle is really, really, really selling the back. And again, it almost swayed the opinion. But Riddle makes a comeback with a V-trigger. Funny how, you know, the V-trigger is so effective no matter who you are. A final flash and another near fall. Riddle tries a senton and lands into both of Roderick Strong's knees. Again, the back. And it looked vicious. Oh, like there was just no give. It looked stiff. Anyway, it lands into the knees, lands the knee into the powerbomb, and another near fall before putting Riddle in a stronghold. Had applied for a good 30 seconds, at least, before Riddle kicks out and applies a bro mission. Strong holds off another moment before Riddle gets to applying the Bro Derrick. That's a new move for the pin and the win. Match was 14 minutes 45 seconds. And I'm giving it 3 stars. Overall, it was a good match. And it was very believable. It just felt like they were telling the story of near fall after near fall after near fall after near fall. And I mean, that's the way it has to go, I guess. But overall, it was a good match. Match number 2. And not exactly my favorite, but it's on the card anyway. You got the 4-way ladder match for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championships. You got Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Street Profits with Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford versus the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish versus the Forgotten Sons, Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. As soon as the bell rings, it's outright chaos. They're all going after one another. Fish and O'Reilly clean out the ring before taking out Ford and both the Forgotten Sons. So automatically they're saying Undisputed right off the hop. Lorcan and Burch take on the Undisputed Era and actually manage some offense before the Era takes them out again. Fish and O'Reilly go for ladders before Blake knocks out both with a suicide dive into the ladder. So they go for the ladder, and the ladder's already going against them. That's bad luck. That's bad luck. We get some ringside action with 7 guys before Dawkins takes them all out with a leap from the top rope. Street Profits try climbing the ladder before being taken out by the Undisputed Era, who are in turn taken out by Wesley Blake. It's a lot of chaos in this match. A lot. So if you're having trouble keeping up with this, I'm having trouble keeping up with it myself. O'Reilly took a nasty bump on the side of the ladder. And I mean, he was busted up a bit from it. I mean, there was blood in the back. They didn't bother to censor it. They didn't bother to stop the match, which was great because I hate when they stop the match because of blood. Forgotten Sons then used the ladder as a weapon on all 3 teams before the Street Profits deliver stereo suplexes, which almost took out O'Reilly permanently. Now what I mean by that, O'Reilly was here, the action was here, and there was a ladder in between. Those stereo suplexes ended up shooting the ladder back and missed O'Reilly by that much. One wrong way, and you had Joey Mercury all over again. And that would have been bad. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Joey Mercury Hardy Boys ladder match. It was ugly. And I don't think he ever really recovered. At this point, you're getting a lot of holy shit chants. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of holy shitting myself. Profits go to work on Lorcan and Burch. And then back to using the ladders as a weapon on Blake, who should have cracked ribs by this point. Like, the amount of ladder spots he was doing, the amount that it was actually connecting with his ribs and not with anything else. Ugh. Cutler in line for the same bump before O'Reilly got back in the match. And once O'Reilly was back in, he was dishing out the punishment too. Montez Ford took a nasty German on the ladder, thanks to Bobby Fish. And I mean, some of these ladder spots, if you don't cringe to ladder matches, there's something seriously wrong with you. Seriously. Undisputed Era starts using that as a weapon again, before an attempt to make it up the ladder to grab the belts. And I don't know how it happened. I must have blinked, but O'Reilly was up 1 second and down the next, and it looked like he busted up his chin or the inside of his mouth because there was blood in the mouth. So not only is he bleeding from the back, he's bleeding from the mouth now. O'Reilly is just a glutton for punishment, I guess. Blake powerbombed O'Reilly on the side of the ladder after that, which in turn dropped Bobby Fish onto Kyle O'Reilly. Like, oh, the poor kid. The poor kid. Forgotten Sons grab the ladder, and Cutler makes the climb before O'Reilly puts a leg lock on him through the steps. Oh, pain. An inverted face lock on Bobby Fish with a stomp off the ladder by Wesley Blake. They must have just sat there and thought, how can we make this as painful as possible, as believable as possible? Forgotten Sons climb the ladder before the Street Profits take out the Forgotten Sons with the electric chair. I'm actually surprised that no one's dead or no one's seriously hurt at this point. I don't imagine there's a lot of give in those ladders. I mean, I've taken chair shots. I've taken table shots. I've never taken ladder shots, but I don't imagine there's a lot of give. O'Reilly is somehow trying to get back up. Before Jackson Riker comes out from the back and starts powerbombing O'Reilly into the ladder, he takes out Birch, takes out Ford, takes out Fish, and sends Dawkins off the ladder. Dawkins was trying to make the climb. He comes off the ladder. Larkin comes back in and gets a back body drop on the ladder. Or gives a back body drop on the ladder. Riker has taken out all three teams not named Forgotten Sons at this point. Undisputed Era gets up first after all that ladder attack. And are joined by the other two teams, the Profits and Larkin and Birch, in beating down Riker. With the ladder, with fists, with kicks. Action returns with the Undisputed Era taking out the Profits off the ladder. Riker gets back up and is taken back out by the Undisputed Era. So Riker is now a non-factor in this match. But he manages to get back up. Then Ford takes him out. He gets back up, and Larkin takes him out. Birch and Larkin work on the Undisputed Era with enziguris and suplexes. Lots of enziguris in this card too. Yeah. Street Profits lined up for stereo sandwich with the ladders. Meaning, Birch had one ladder, Larkin had the other. Street Profits were in the middle. Stereo sandwich. Forgotten Sons then get taken out with a tossed ladder. Larkin and Birch try to climb, but get taken down by the Undisputed Era. Now you have two ladders in the ring by this point. And you know what happens when there's two ladders in the ring? Nothing good. So Larkin and Birch and the Undisputed Era are fighting side by side, going for the belts. The Forgotten Sons come in. And they manage to push both ladders. One actually falls down, one stays up. Nobody's still on it. But the one that is still up, you get Blake and Cutler climbing up. No, Cutler was holding the ladder and Blake was climbing up. Cutler gets a wicked-ass spear under the ladder. Ford comes up off the turnbuckle, leaps onto the ladder, leaps up a couple more steps, takes down Blake, grabs the belts, and you have new tag champs. Did I ever mention that I hate four-way ladder matches? I'm still going to give this one a 3. The match was 21 minutes and 30 seconds. Pure chaos, as one would expect. I mean, nothing bad to say, other than how is nobody seriously hurt? But the Profits are over with the crowd, which is a great thing. Match number 3 on the card is for the North American Championship. And there you see the champ, Velveteen Dream, versus Tyler Breeze. Prince Pretty. I've always wanted to say this, because I've always thought this. Velveteen's entrance music sounds like it was either written for or ripped off of a porno movie. I've always thought that. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just the rolling bass. I don't know, it just reminds me of a porno movie. But anyways, getting off topic. Lots of back and forth early. Lots of one-ups from both guys. Like they were countering everybody or each other's move one by one by one by one. Lots of early near falls. Tyler Breeze takes the action outside, catching Dream with a knee slap on the ring post. Basically brings him to the post, slaps his knee against the post, is what I'm trying to say. Velveteen catches Breeze with a right from the ring apron. Like a right. They go back in the ring, and Breeze has Dream in a single leg crab. If you've ever taken a crab, they hurt. Now try doing a single leg crab where you're being stretched. Ugh. Breeze is really working on the leg, though. I mean, kind of like when a shark smells blood. You know, he's just working it and working it and working it. Action goes back outside, where Dream gains momentum with a slick super kick. It was pretty. Oh, I don't say that a lot about super kicks, but it was pretty. Dream breaks the ref count, because the ref has them counting by them, and smacks Breeze's head off the announce table quite a few times before grabbing his belt, grabbing Breeze's phone, lining it all up, and taking a selfie. That was actually kind of comical. I laughed at that, to be perfectly honest. Dream then kind of gets up and eats a Tyler Breeze supermodel kick, which is a super kick with a model thrown in. The action goes back in the ring. And then Dream gets an early driver, a Dream early driver for a near fall. After that, Tyler Breeze lands an enziguri to gain some kind of momentum or some time to regroup, and another supermodel kick for another near fall. More back and forth. They're still one up in one another. And Dream lands a Dream DDT and another near fall. Another knee strike by Breeze, which he didn't really capitalize on at all, which gave Velveteen a little more momentum. He went for the unprettier and actually connected it, but again, another near fall. After that, he lands a purple Rainmaker, which connects with Tyler Breeze's knee. So, best laid plans often don't work. Another supermodel kick followed by an unprettier to get another near fall. Breeze follows that up with a spinning heel kick, which sends Dream out of the ring. This is where Dream's kind of playing possum. Breeze stops the ref count as Velveteen was about to connect with the North American belt. Dream's outside, he grabs the belt, and he's going to bring it in, use it as a weapon. This kind of distracts Breeze, which in turn distracts the ref, because ref thinks Breeze is bringing it in for a weapon. In which Dream hits Breeze with the Dream early driver, followed by another purple Rainmaker that does connect for the 1-2-3. Match went 16 minutes, 50 seconds, and I'm only giving it a 3. I've seen better Velveteen Dream matches. And it's not to say that there was just no chemistry between the two, or it just didn't work. I've just seen better Velveteen Dream matches. After the match, Dream gloating and, showboating and whatever else. He's about to leave where Tyler Breeze stops him. He's like, oh yeah, no, not so fast. Let's take a selfie. So they take a selfie. I don't know what to think about all that whole selfie action, how it actually manages to make its way into the matches and whatever else. But yeah, if it's your gimmick, it's your gimmick, right? Match number 4, and probably the shortest match on the card. For the NXT Women's Championship, you got the champ, Shayna Baszler, versus Io Shirai. Io Shirai. I have to learn to say that properly. Shirai came out early and got planted on her ass early. She tried momentum, but Baszler had an answer for pretty much everything that she was trying to capitalize with. So it wasn't working to her benefit in the early going. Some delayed drop kick sent Baszler out, followed by a baseball drop kick. That's probably the best momentum Shirai had early. Baszler comes back and takes the momentum away. Early. She went for an early reality check, but no pin. She could have ended the match quick, but she didn't. Baszler's working the elbow, though, followed by a wicked clothesline from hell and a near fall. Baszler's still working the arms, though. Both arms now. And Shirai's getting no offense at all. At all. She's just basically disconnected from this match at this point. Baszler misses a second reality check. And Shirai does manage to get she manages to get a German suplex, but her arms at this point are done. Like, they're jelly. Like, any offensive suplex moves or anything like that involve her arms are non-factors at this point. But she does manage to come out with some chops and a double axe handle before connecting with a really sweet 619. Oh, if Ray was watching, he'd be impressed with that 619, because I was impressed. Get a springboard and a near fall. Baszler gets caught in the crossface, but Baszler also manages to power out of that with a side slam. Again, Shirai's not getting a lot of offense at all. And if you remember me saying, Baszler is pretty damn dominant. Shirai sends Baszler out with a top rope draw kick before climbing up to land a moonsault on Baszler outside the ring. Lots of outside action, which is good, you know, as far as outside action is concerned. Back in the ring, though, Io lands a missile dropkick and double knees. At this point, Dewey and Shafir come out to interfere, and Candice LeRae is not too far behind with a kendo stick in tow. She manages to even out the odds and take out the other two women who are now non-factors at this point. But Baszler takes advantage of the distraction with a small package and another near fall. Shirai gains some momentum back and has a bridge pin locked in before it gets countered into a Kirifuda clutch. I hope I pronounced that right. Shirai tries to fight it out, but Baszler is just torquing it in more and bringing her more to the center of the ring so that she has really no way out of it. And after about, I want to say a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes, she finally taps. Baszler wins by submission. Match went 12 minutes, 15 seconds. After the match, Io Shirai snaps and just lays out Baszler with the kendo stick and a moonsault. Goes back up, asks Candice for the chair, lands another moonsault on top of the chair. My overall match grading of this, though, I wanted to say 3, but that was only due to after the match antics. I'm only giving this a 2.5. It was too short. It was way too short. And I mean, not saying if you're going to be that dominant, you have to have it a short match. You could stretch it out. You could give her that pump of adrenaline that'll keep her going right back up and keep her in the match for at least another 4 or 5 minutes. If this match would have went 17 minutes, I might have enjoyed it more. But and it's not because it's women. It has nothing to do with that at all. What was funny, though, was after Baszler's lying in the ring just writhing in pain, the crowd's all chanting, "You deserve it." I'm like, she deserves to be in that much pain? I know it's probably staged and it's probably just for the sell, but it's kind of a wrong thing to chant, don't you think? Before we get to our main event, they decide to announce that NXT UK Takeover, taking place in Cardiff, Wales, on August 31st. No, wait a minute. Isn't All Out on August 31st? You may have to be. I'm gonna have to be PVRing 2 pay-per-views. Jesus. Last match on the card, and your main event for the NXT Championship. You got the champ, Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, versus Adam Cole, baby. Gargano, Cole 2. Now, if this is going to be anything like the first, we're in for a treat. Follow along. Let me know if you think it is like the first. The lockup was strong, and lots of early back and forth. Gargano went for the Gargano escape early. Cole went for the last shot early. After that, it was an easy breather, and that was within the first 5 minutes. So they're starting off with the big moves first and continuing the flow. Very divided crowd, though. Very divided. Lots of Johnny wrestling chants, followed by a lot of Adam Cole chants. No one really had the clear offense in the beginning, at least for the first few minutes. Lots of near misses, like near moves, super kicks, punch, elbows, before Gargano hits a cannonball off the ring apron. And that seemed to kind of give some momentum. We're still on the outside where Cole misses some offense before getting a double stomp on the arm. Obviously, Gargano's working the Johnny escape early. Take out the arm, that way you can apply the move a lot easier. They both go back in the ring, where Johnny's still working on the arm. Nice Indian death grip or death lock applied by Gargano, and he still continue working the arm. Like, it was a good 6 minutes of him just working the arm. Standing in Seguri before Cole escapes the momentum Gargano had and gives him a super kick to the back of the leg. Cole now has the offense, which is a nice thing to see. Anytime Adam Cole's on offense is a good thing. At this point, Cole's working the leg with hyperextensions and super kicks, even just basic kicks. Gargano tries to break out, but Cole's all over him. All over him. Drop kick to the knee. And a dragon screw leg whip puts Gargano back down. So any momentum Gargano had at this point, it's not lasting. Cole still has the offense before he goes for a drop kick off the top rope, but lands into a landing sit-down powerbomb. Ouch. Both men get back up, though, and they're both trading shots back and forth. Gargano's mounting some offense, which is good because he needs his in too. Gargano follows that up with a belly-to-belly suplex and a stand-up enziguri, and another near fall. I think this is actually probably one of the first near falls in the match. Spike spear and a 2 count. So we're following up first with more near falls. Gargano tries a top rope suplex before Cole attempts an avalanche suplex. Gargano counters but lands into a backstabber, and that was a stiff backstabber. Both knees right between the shoulder blades. Ow! Ow! Cole lands an enziguri of his own and gives a sweet face buster to another near fall. By this point, Gargano's looking out of it, and we're maybe halfway through. Both give each other a pair of super kicks before both fall out of the ring. Once they're out of the ring, more super kicks. You'd almost swear, and I don't want to be too presumptuous when I say this, you'd almost swear it was a super kick party. At this point, we're getting a lot of fight forever chants, and they could have kept going. They could have. They should have. I mean, we'll get into that too. Gargano is mounting some offense before Cole's out of the ring again. Gargano gets a pair of face busters. And Gargano's selling the knee. Heavily at this point. Both in the ring again, and Gargano puts on the Gargano escape before Cole puts him in the figure 4. And again, the right knee. And Cole must have had that in for at least a good 90 seconds. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a figure 4 leg lock. If you never have been, it's up to you if you want to try it, but they hurt. If they're applied right, and whoever is applying it to you gets the right amount of torque, they hurt. And reversing it hurts just as much. Speaking of, Gargano reverses the figure 4, but Cole grabs the bottom rope. So Cole's smart on that one. Cole went for a spinning toe hold before getting tossed out of the ring. And Cole comes back into the ring, only to get a spiked DDT from the second rope. Cole rolls back out. Gargano goes for a suicide dive, but eats a super kick with some mustard on it. Oh, it was. If I said any other super kick was sweet, this one was sweeter. At this point, we're getting more holy shit chants. They're both out on the ring, and Cole manages to hit a Panama Sunrise on the floor. Oof. Ooh, I can imagine taking that as is in a ring is bad. Taking it out on the floor is probably painful. Cole gets Gargano in the ring for a 2 count. Goes for the last shot and misses. And Cole gets Gargano into the Gargano escape. So now he's trying to beat Gargano with his own move, which is a fun thing to see when wrestlers do that. Gargano escapes that and hits the last shot. So now they're trading power moves. They're trading finishers. But that only levels to a 2 count. Now both trade more shots again. And Gargano lands into a hat trick of front kicks to the face before a super lariat by Gargano takes Cole down. Get back up. More matching super kicks. And Cole lands a last shot to the back of Gargano's head. Very, very, very close 2 count. It was probably 2 9/10. Like another second more, a millisecond more. It would have been a 3. At this point, Adam Cole's back on the ring. He's going for the chair. The refs tell him, hey, you can't take that in the ring. I'm the ref. Listen to me. You can't take that in the ring. At this point, Gargano, in his infinite wisdom, decides to super dive and take out Cole and the ref. Smart. Gargano picks up the chair and uses it for a super kick of his own into Cole's face. Rolls him back in the ring, but there's no ref to count that. So Gargano gets out, rolls the ref back in, and Cole hits a modified pile driver for another near fall. Gargano gets Cole into the Gargano escape. Cole escapes and hits the Panama Sunrise. So now they're going back to their own finishers. They're not borrowing moves anymore. They're doing their own. Followed that up by the last shot. You get a 1, you get a 2, you get a 3. We got a new NXT champ in Adam Cole, baby. That match was 32 minutes. I know I only briefly explained it in 8. And I know my explanation probably didn't do it any justice, but I am giving this match 4.5 stars. It was a great match. They have amazing chemistry together. There was just the story they told, physically, psychologically, was a great story. And I can't wait for Cole Gargano 3. And overall, I have to give this whole card a 3.5. There were no bad matches. I mean, there was only 5 matches, and lo and behold, my predictions actually came through for once. I'm 4 for 5 in this pay-per-view. But nothing outside the main event is what I would call a show stealer. As a matter of fact, I'm calling the main event the match of the night. And I'm not saying this was by far a bad takeover. It wasn't. It was a good takeover. It wasn't the best takeover. At least not this year. That belongs to TakeOver New York. But it wasn't the worst. Not even close to the worst. And I'm not going to sit here like everybody else and try and compare it to Double or Nothing. Because it's not fair. Double or Nothing is an AEW event. NXT Takeover is a takeover, or is an NXT event. The only thing I am going to compare it to is the main roster and say that, yeah, it's like all takeovers should be. Better than what the main roster pumps out. But again, nowhere near a bad card. The fact that I'm only giving it a 3.5 might not do it justice, but there are so many things that could have improved it, so many things that could have made it better. But all in all, not a bad show. So that was episode 13 of Trev's Wrestling Show here on Trev TV. I want to thank you for tuning in. Your viewership always means so much to me. Always has, always will. And I do appreciate that you've taken time out of your day to watch what I have to say, to listen to what I have to say. Talking about wrestling. You know, it's not a bad thing to talk about. Unfortunately, again, being because Game 3 was tonight, you know, I kind of had to watch it late. So I watched it after everybody knew the results. So staying away from the phone was a necessity. Having said all that, though, I'm not 100% sure I want to do a preview reaction for Super Showdown, being it is just a glorified house show that just happens to be in Saudi Arabia that WWE is getting paid millions of dollars to do. But if you want to see me do a Super Showdown prediction reaction video, put it in the comments below. And we can go from there. You know, I'll see. I mean, I'm not ruling it out, but at the same time, I'm not pushing to do it. But I mean, if you want to see me do it, I'll do it. Either way, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, hit the thumbs up. And if you don't want to, you know where that red button is. Somewhere there. I'm not sure. Hit it, and you'll be able to keep up to date with all the content I put out. If that's not enough, you can find Trev TV on Facebook at Trev TV. If you want to be a super fan, you can find Trev TV on Instagram at rockstartrev TV. Moving forward, I still have a Spartacus review video to do this weekend. So I'll do that probably tomorrow. Just a matter of what time I'll do it. And depending on where the Stanley Cup final goes, like it's 2-1 Boston. So Boston only has 2 more wins. That could happen next week. The latest you'll see a Stanley Cup reaction video is not tomorrow, Sunday after. So that's the absolute latest. The absolute soonest could be as soon as Thursday. But having said all that, in the meantime, and in between time, be on the lookout for more videos from Trev. Later.